Guess where I'm going? I'm going to get these little bad boys fitted to my bike. These are called Mutants. How weird are they?
Very quickly, here I am before the fog comes in again at the top of the Grossglockner Pass on another Magellan tour. I'm just going to do a little chat about my Dunlop Mutant Tyres. So I thought I'd just quickly show you that before I go, because the fog's coming in now. So we're up at the biker point. Clearly there's lots of bikers around. And just going to go down the other side of the Grossglockner. And then we're going to head on to this place called the Plocken Pass, which is a pass that's not often used by many people. They tend to avoid it. So we use it as part of our tour, the Croatia tour, and a couple of other tours. So we come right down off the Grossglockner straight onto the Plocken. And on the way down from the biker point at the Grossglockner, you got this lovely cobbled road. I think there's about 14 bends or something. It's awesome. It's a bit nadgery in the wet, but luckily it's not today. But because I've got Mutant tyres on, it'd be fine. Anyway, let's chat about the tyres. So, this is my new GSA. Well, I say new, it's 3 years old, but it's had no miles on it, so it's as far as I'm concerned, it's new. And when I picked the bike up, it had horrendous A41 tyres on it. Now, the bike had only done 1,300 miles, and there's a video already on our site probably now talking about the A41s and the fact that a lot of people are having issues on the, particularly on the 1250 GSs and GSAs, where the A41 tyre is not performing how it should do. And even though my bike only had 1,300 miles on it, the front tyre had started to degrade quite a bit already. There was a big ridge in it and it felt uncomfortable while I was riding, which is pretty rubbish really. Toby had to change his because his tyres were misshapen. I had a set of misshapen tyres on my 850 before I got rid of that. So I think there's an issue. Obviously Bridgestone won't think that because they won't admit to it, will they? But anyway, so the reason I got the Dunlop Mutants was because I got a flat tyre. Massive big screw in the back of my in my rear tyre. So I plugged it, managed to ride on it for a few days, and I contacted a guy called Dave, Mr. Dave Plummer from who supplies Dunlop tyres, and I asked him if he'd like us to do a review on Dunlop Mutants. Now I've already had them on my bike, on a blood bike, on a 1200 RTP, BMW 1200 RTP, and they were phenomenal. They were really, really good, and we had them on a few of the blood bikes, and everybody that rode them loved it. They're a 4-season crossover tyre. So what that means is there's quite a chunky tread on it, as you see in the photographs, and the contact patch with the road is quite big on it, but they're great at getting rid of water. Now I know that for a fact because the other day we were riding down through France, and unfortunately my camera wasn't charged, and we were caught in biblical rain for about 2 hours. It was horrific. The cars were going so slow, the visibility was down to about 50-60 metres, and it was just lots of standing water, you know, massive puddles. It was pretty horrible actually, but the tyres performed fantastic. I actually found that once the visibility raised and you could see where you were going a bit, you could actually maintain normal speeds on the bike, which is something that a lot of people don't do anyway in their normal riding in the wet. You know, everyone seems to slow down because everybody panics. Look at these little sprinters. Everybody panics in the rain, don't they? Because we all think we're riding on an ice rink. So they were quite awe-inspiring, the fact that I was riding on these tyres, and oh, I don't think they haven't seen me. No, completely oblivious. which is, as I've said before, you know, pretty important if you're riding in all year weather, all year round. And you need to feel that confidence under your wheels while you're bimbling along. So anyway, long story short, got a flat tyre, spoke to Dave. Dave said I'll get them in a post here, and they were fitted. Now the bike this tour so far has done, I shall just check. Looking down at my screen now, we have done 1,246 miles. So I've had the tyres on for about 1,300 miles. Yeah, that's probably about right, 1,300 miles. And ridden in the wet, ridden in the dry, but just done the Grossglockner. And the grip you get from these tyres is it's really, really good. I mean, you see a normal road tyre, there's like very few marks on it if you want, very few grooves, but the grooves are there to get rid of the water. Well, the tyres, the pictures you've seen of these tyres anyway, have got loads of grooves over them, and also they seem to warm up really quickly, and the grip is exceptional. So I like them a lot. I really do like them. And I was chatting to a guy online on a BMW website the other day, and he's had a pair fitted on his, and he said he got 10,000 miles out of them. But he did say the last sort of couple of thousand miles, their performance, he felt, dropped off a little bit. But I'm not saying that's the case, because everybody feels different about their tyres. You know, it's quite often a Marmite thing, isn't it? You know, you love them or hate them. So that's quite reassuring, especially as I need mileage out of a tyre if I'm going to be, you know, doing tours on them. And we've just been up at the top of the Grossglockner there at the Bikers Point, and it was interesting that there were quite a few people walking past, and you know, sort of almost doing a double take, you know, like they'd not seen them before. But they've been in Europe for a while, because when I had my 850 and I tried to get I was trying to let a guy come out then, but he wouldn't come. I had my 850 and I went to get a new set of tyres, or I got my wheels balanced, because I thought that was the issue with the tyre. Unfortunately, it was the 841. The guy was trying to sell me a pair of Mutants, but they wouldn't fit my bike. They also had the Meridians, which are a similar sort of tyre for a 21-inch bike, and so they're quite big in Europe, which is it's nice if you're obviously travelling. You can get them quite easily. Now I know there's a few issues getting tyres at the moment. There's quite a long waiting time, and I believe it's something to do with something that they put in them that comes from Russia, which is, you know, obviously I might be talking utter crap there, but apparently that's the issue. And that's why we're all having to wait a bit longer for tyres. But in Europe at the moment there doesn't seem to be that problem, because I've had to find source a tyre for a guy on a tour, and found it quite easily. So there we are. So what I'm going to do is ride this pass now, and I've got a bit of space, and let's talk about the tyre. There's no vibration through the tyre. There is a bit of noise, but it's not like loud noise. Like the A41s and the Anarchies are well known for having a lot of wind noise or road noise from them. This is more of a whine, and it's not that bad at all. You can't hear it necessarily above, you know, when you've got your music on, you can't hear it at all anyway. But it's not a bad sound, if that makes any sense. It's okay. That was nice. The lights came on as I went into the tunnel. So Grossglockner, it's a Monday. It's very quiet. Yesterday would have been really busy because the weather was fantastic. Excuse me for sniffing. Lots of cyclists out today. Grossglockner has a speed limit of 62 miles an hour in a lot of places. And quite often you can get up to it really quickly. The bends are sometimes they're a bit tight, but most of the time they're nice flowing bends like this. And this is a maintained road, toll road, so it's only open in the daytime, it's closed at night. And the road surface is tremendous if you've never ridden it before. We've gone over the highest point now, but we're just coming down to over this scree slope in front of us. And we go through a tunnel and then we start travelling down the other side of the road. So look at this, get past a Porsche on a bend. Nicely lean over, accelerating out into another bend. I love these hairpins, dropping a gear, looking ahead. You can only do that kind of riding, you know, if you've got a tyre you can believe in. Okay, and these are really believable tyres, if that makes sense. I love them, absolutely love them. This is there's some strange driving techniques going on, I tell you. So this is the final tunnel, and we come through here. It's a shame there's a car in front of me. And then we have the whole of the other side of the Grossglockner Pass comes into view, and it's quite spectacular. So this tour has got 15 people on it, 13 bikes. And we're on our way down to a place called Davica now in Slovenia. And then we're eventually making our way to Dubrovnik. It's the 7th time I've done this tour. And I love doing it. Go there, just pull off there, mate. Okay. Oh, you never know what they're going to do. So there's the view, just over there. A little bit of breakage. Lean it over. Grip is phenomenal, it really is good. The boxer engine is so nice for coming down these kinds of roads. You don't even have to brake at all, do you? You know, everyone who's got one knows exactly what I'm talking about. So these tyres are fitted on my 1250 GSA, so that's 17 rear, 19 front. I think they do obviously lots of other sizes as well. The guy that fit them for me said he'd never seen them before, but he liked the look of them, and he works for a company called Tyre Finders in Truro. Carmelo, bit of a guru when it comes to fitting tyres. Everybody goes to see Carmelo, and let's get the view there. He was talking about the pattern and how he thought it was pretty cool, actually. So that's probably another endorsement if somebody in the tyre industry says they like them. I'm not sure if the whine you hear is you can actually hear it. Sheep, who'd have thought of that? So the weather is just turning a little bit cooler now. It's 11 degrees. It was 28 when we set off down below in Zelmzee, where we stayed for 2 nights. And yesterday I drove out to these place called the Ice Caves, which are about, I suppose they're about 50 miles away from Zelmzee or Hinterglen, where we were staying, on some really nice roads, some really cracking roads. Not such a good road surface yesterday. It was not as good as this by any stretch of the imagination. But the tyres did well. I love them to bits. So you notice these circles on the road. These are for motorcyclists to keep to the outside of it, because obviously, well, not obviously, but some people are really crazy, and they're riding the edges really close, and obviously clearly they have a lot of accidents. The other day we were doing the B500, we just pulled into the hotel, and there were 15 emergency vehicles went past. So there's obviously a lot of problems on these kinds of roads, particularly with motorcyclists who've come out for a blast, and quite often their talent runs out before their ability, if that makes sense. Talent before ability? They certainly lose it anyway. But yeah, so Mutant Tyres, really good, love them to bits. If you like the video, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to us, we obviously need subscribing, and I'd like to say hi to the Austrian guy who met me at the top of the Grossglockner and came across and was so excited apparently to have seen RiderCamTV sticker on the back of the bike. So even more excited when I gave him a sticker. Oh, thank you, and off he went. So I didn't get his name, but he seemed really happy to have seen the RiderCamTV sticker on the back of the bike, and off he went. So thumbs up, hello to everybody, and we'll see you soon.